Hey guys, welcome back to another video. We're here at Kamerastore.com with Nuno from Kamerastore, and we're going to be talking about compact cameras. Why would you want to get one? Which ones there are? Why? What price they are? Like what use you can do? A little bit of chit chat with Nuno, a bit more relaxed, and talk about point and shoots or compact cameras, I guess.
Yeah. So I think first thing that comes to my mind is the ease of use. Like you can start with if you're not familiar with how like photography on the technical side, I think this is the easiest way to get into. This will wind the film automatically. This will exposure. It will even focus automatically. So you just pop a roll into it, and you're ready to get some memories taken.
Yeah, I think the most complicated part of the point and shoot cameras or compact cameras is putting a roll inside. Like everything else is extremely easy.
Yeah, and that is actually very easy with the cameras. Like most of the time it's just there's a mark here
and there's a little drawing.
Yeah, there's a drawing and a mark here. Put a film into this point, beep, and it starts rewinding to the first frame. So using of a compact camera in general are very easy.
No, yeah, I think like you said, one of the main points that I think they were sold back in the day and probably still today makes sense is not getting in the way. Like you want to take a picture, you pull the camera out of your pocket or your bag or a backpack and just point at something and you shoot. That's the PNS, like point and shoot. I think it's really important for that. And then you can take it anywhere. Like you can have it, they're so small that you can carry them anywhere. And like the Olympus Mju II is one of those cameras that slides into your back pocket. You probably almost sit on them. And you heard it turn on and you turn it off, one-handed, you point, you shoot. I mean, what else do you need? Like you don't have to think at all. Composing is the only thing, probably. And even, I think they were in many ways grandmother's cameras.
Yeah, I think when the first came out, it was targeted as a family camera to capture the family moments. You can actually give this to your family member who is not a photographer and they can still manage to get some nice memories on the film.
Yeah, I think the ease of use is extremely nice. And if we go to the kind of compact cameras we have, yes, they're all small. We agree, they're compact cameras that you can fit them anywhere. They shoot always 35mm film. There's some APS systems, but let's leave those on the side because that system is no longer sold. It can still get developed, so if you have APS film, usually your film lab will do that. But 35mm film still widely available, which sometimes people don't know. Color, black and white slide. But what kind of cameras do you have? You have the entry level ones, which I would say one like the one on your left.
Yeah, this is representing entry level point and shoot, but this particular model is pretty good. I will rate this pretty high. If you find this, your grandmother has one of these, or yeah, I think the most easier way to recognize a beginner model is it has a zoom lens. So it will zoom back and forward, which means that the maximum aperture of the camera of the lens is much smaller. So you need to use the flash more.
Yeah, and the funny thing is most of the zoom cameras used to be more expensive than the ones with a fixed focal length. So like a 35 f2.8, like this one, would be cheaper than this back in the day, even though now it's reversed. I guess that mentality of like the fixed lens is better nowadays maybe is a bit more obvious. And then you could also have things that were just for really fun holidays. Like we have a water camera here that you could throw in the water, and like you said, you can give it to your children or you can give it to anyone, put it in the water, and it's so simple to capture stuff.
Yeah, and then we have one of the premium models, and this features aperture control, so you can actually control the aperture, you can control the focus here. So this was a premium model for real photographers. They carry around this when they have their big system that they cannot carry around, and this can be shot in the parties, but they still can
they can be spontaneous.
Yes, they can be spontaneous, but still they can control how the photo will turn out. If you want to shoot wide open with a small aperture or flash, you can choose if you want to use the flash.
I think that's one of the things of the point and shoots or compact cameras is there's such a wide selection. You can choose cameras that maybe let you turn off the flash. You can have fill-in flash, which to me is one of the best features you can have, where you can like fight against the sun and have a nice backlit image with a little bit of flash. You can sometimes choose the aperture. Sometimes you can change the ISO, which means you can pull and push your film if you're going extra steps forward. I think there's a camera for everyone, which is really nice. There's budget for everyone.
Yes.
Expensive cameras, cheaper cameras, medium price point. So I think the point and shoot in today's world, like, why do you carry a point and shoot?
I think this is, in my view, this is just a spontaneous moments with the flash. I like to use the flash to. Sometimes it creates surreal photos, like you mentioned with the balancing of the sun. It's quite hard thing to, if you're a beginner, to know how to balance sunlight.
Or if you're a beginner, or if you're experienced but you're running fast. Like I have children, and when I'm shooting, I usually use an Olympus Mju II or a Yashica T4, for example, which are in the midpoint premium cameras. But the fact that I run behind my kids and I don't mind shooting without looking, I know that that camera is going to do the work for me. And yes, I like getting my medium format cameras, or more serious and metering myself, but like these to me are the cameras I take on holidays. I put only cheap color film, which is not bad, and I just shoot for fun and I love it. And there's a lot of people also that are doing very serious work with point and shoots.
And I think I have to mention the lowest end of the compact camera, which is the disposable cameras, which are compact cameras in itself. And I think this is one of the cameras that most people start to shoot film. Was the first introduction to film. They go to holidays, they grab from the store, or they forgot their camera home, and this will, in a way, they do the same job if you put the flash on. The aperture, of course, is tiny on those, so you need a lot of light to use them.
Yeah, they're made. I mean, those disposable cameras basically are made for what they are, which is shooting one roll, and then they go into your lab, which disposes them, and you don't have a camera anymore. So it's a single-use camera, which I think is interesting. There are also some that are coming back as disposable reloadable, which I know is not right because it's not like that, but they are very similar in size and use. But then you can open them and you can take your film out, you can reload it. So compact cameras, I think, is a great thing as a beginner camera, as an advanced camera, as a fun camera. There's, I think, no reason not to shoot one or not to have one, especially because for the prices that you can find. I mean, and a lot of brands made them, which is amazing.
I think every single brand made at least one model at their point. So there's a huge variety of. I think these started to come out in the early 80s, at least when the AF systems were starting up. There was some, pretty much every brand, as I said, was producing at some point. And I think one of the selling points of compact camera is of course the snapshot look and feel, which many of the professional photographers actually made some great career out of using a camera like this, because you can take this into a tighter space. It's not like a huge camera in the way, and you can be in the moment, and you can actually guide the model to pose in a way and snap, and it's just
and I've been seeing a lot of actually, now that you're mentioning models, a lot of other people, like models, buying these cameras to take their pictures on film, because sometimes for a change we all use our phones to take pictures, but these are really fun for having a little bit more, and still cheap, fun, easy. And the easy part is, to me, the most important. Like, photography has to be something that's easy to use, easy to share, easy to, get something. And if it breaks, I mean, there are small cameras usually, except for a couple exceptions, entry level or cheap cameras. And then do remember that there's some ugly ones that actually are very, very inexpensive. Yeah,
and I think if you ask your grandmother or your mother or your family relative, there's always a compact camera at their cabinet waiting for you. So just look around, go to a thrift store. I think easiest way to check if they work is just to pop some batteries. If it does something, it probably works. Yep.
So let us know. Are you a fan of compact cameras? Do you shoot color only, black and white? Are you maybe giving them to your children, or maybe you found one in your, like you said, a family's wardrobe or somewhere? You can check Kamerastore.com for some of this gear. There's a whole article about compact cameras at Kamerastore.com. So if you want to read more of which ones, like the one you can choose and the different models and all these things, go check it out. The link is in the description. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.